Hello to my international family out there, especially my Divine Feminine Sisterhood. This is a video that I was guided to make as themes the Divine Mother and the ancient priestesses from Atlantis, Lemuria, and Mu would like to bring a little message through for us, because it seems that my American sisters have sort of been put in a situation by the elites and the patriarchy where you don't have your bodily autonomy anymore. And that's okay. I'll put a video out saying that, hey, you know what? Gaia's already had the answer. We already have the answer. There's something out there. And last night, in my random little research, which I've started making tinctures. So I'm researching the properties of herbal medicine and different herbs and things like that. One of the herbs in my video yesterday, if you have it as a tea, can actually trigger certain things within your bodily function, which my video got banned for harmful misinformation because I made that video last night showing you what the health properties or the medicinal effects can be. And there are warnings. There are certain herbal medicines that if you're lactating or you're breastfeeding, you cannot have them because they might impact things like that. So there's different herbs out there. If you have it as a tea or as herbal medicine in a form of a tincture, which is made by herbalists, which, even I'm meddling with making tinctures, you can make it yourself. However, there is a deeper thing to this message. Okay, there are teas and things out there, and I could sit here and give you that information, and it would be harmful misinformation because it would be taken the wrong way, and people will go out there and abuse that energy and possibly cause themselves harm. And I don't want to be responsible for that. I'm not a medical professional. I'm intuitive. I channel information from the divine and from the priestesses and the goddesses and things like that. So I bring that energy through, and I have also been getting into herbal medicine and into Wicca, and a lot of things like can be considered being an apothecary to make tinctures and things like that. So there are herbal teas out there that can do things for the divine feminine in coming times because of the restrictions that have been imposed on them by the patriarchy from the outside. However, the biggest message that I really need to bring through is what the Divine Feminine Collective was wanting to show me is back in ancient times, when we found one of our sisters in a position where she was with child, and for whatever reason, based on her personal choices, whatever the case may be. Okay, back then it wasn't a case of, somebody abused her and she was with child because of that. It would have been personal choice. Is, what, at this time in my life, I'm not ready for this. So that is my choice. And in those times, the Divine Feminine Sisterhood would come together, and it would be like a nurturing, loving ritual or a beautiful process where your sisters, those that can hold space for you, that can send you healing, those sisters of yours that are crystal healers, that are Reiki healers, that are energy healers, that are angelic healers, get them together, come together for a few days, go away for a sisterhood retreat to somewhere in nature, then as a sacred medicine kind of a process, sit down with your sisters, speak to them, share your most deepest things and the reasons why you've made this decision for yourself, so they can hold space for you and support you in this process. And then you can take some time out and go into a sacred space and connect with your higher power or the divine. Damn, I'm getting emotional saying this. But I have been in this position where I have had to say no before. And for me, it was a hard decision and it haunted me for years. So for those of you that it is a hard decision, but you know it's the right thing for you to do right now for you, okay, you can take control of your own life. But Mother Gaia and the priestess sisters want you to know, all the goddesses out there, they want you to know that this is a sacred thing. It is your personal body, okay? It's your energy. It's something that you decide from your own soul. And there is another soul involved, yes. And some of us see that as such a huge thing. So they want to bring about a little bit of a change in how women do things. It's like we are so much connected to Mother Gaia. We are so much in our feminine, a lot of us, and it's just like we can feel the depth of the energy of this. Okay, So come together with your sisters if this is your situation that you found yourself in. Get your healer sisters, the ones that you feel supported by, the ones that can hold you and you know that you are loved. Okay? And if you don't have that, ask your divine team to guide you to the right people. Okay? And they will guide you to the right people. There are different types of medicine, like, herbal medicine traditions, like shamans and the ancient, like curanderos and things like that. Back in the days, they know about herbal medicine. They've made herbal medicine to make everything in life happen forever. So you guys can consult people like that. And if you would like to know, I can literally tell you there is one particular tea right now that will trigger that A word for you, and it would take one cup of tea. But this is why I have been guided to sort of give this message to you guys, is that this is not to be taken lightly. It's just like, oh yeah, who cares? It's like an abuse of power. It's an abuse of the gift that we've been given. Okay, so treat it with some respect and some sacredness. And, even for those young ones that you guys might be helping and guiding that find themselves in situations where they are with child because of a trauma that's been inflicted on them. Do you want them to have to go through all of this unpleasantness? No. You want them to come to you, to give them a little cuddle. It's okay. Mama's here, auntie's here. It's okay. Have a cup of tea. You're going to be okay. Go lie down. You're going to be fine. Look after your brothers. Look after your sisters. Okay? I'm feeling that. I'm so emotional right now, guys. I've asked the entire Divine Sisterhood to step through, and it's just like, we need to love each other and nurture each other. This whole thing of not understanding the depth of what each other goes through is what created division in the first place. Okay? For some of you, it will be one of the hardest things that you've ever done to make that decision when you find yourself in that position. I've been there. I've had to do it. But I did it for the greater good of my belief system and my programming and whatever I believed at that time. Now, no way I would ever do that again. But that's me as a human, right? But for those of you out there where you're finding yourself in a position where it could cost you a lot, there are ways. Mother Gaia has your solution. The priestess sisters have the solution. You just need to put a call out to the higher realms for the help, and you will get that help. You'll find the right group of people that can support you through that, even if it's just one person that you can spend a few days with, and they can sort of hold your hand through that and nurture you through that. Because yes, you'll be a little bit under the weather for a couple of days, but you'll be okay. And also, considering you'll be having herbal medicine to sort of trigger certain things like that, you can also have other types of things like rose tea and lavender tea to soothe your nerves and to calm yourself and to be truly nurturing of your inner divine feminine energy, okay? Because this is not something to be taken lightly. The video I made yesterday was 3 minutes long. It would have been taken very lightly. It would have blown up in my face probably. But I want my sisters out there to go back to their ancient roots of their divine sisterhood and remember who we are. Most of us have been witches and priestesses and priests and wizards and magicians and apothecaries and healers and herbalists and earth angels and healers and like Reiki healers, other kinds of healers. There's so much different types of healing. Most of us are starting to channel and remember our past life things. So if you're being guided to all of this thing, it's because your sisterhood needs you. In coming days, your sisterhood's going to need you to step up and be like, come sis, I'll hold your hand and I will support you and I will love you through this. Okay? Because maybe somebody else doesn't understand. Like half of us that will resonate with this video possibly, or in half the stuff that I create, probably have felt misunderstood at some point in their life. So to be able to be that person in somebody else's life when they're going through a hard time, and you can hold their hand, even if it is for a day or two, to get them through something really, really hard that's been inflicted on us by the patriarchy. We can do this if we stick together and we stay strong and remember what's important. The love, the unity, and the fact that we all bleed red and we know what happens when our hearts hurt. Okay? The divine feminines have been roaring and Mother Gaia has been angry. We've all felt it. But now it's time to calm that down and bring that into, we're going to show you what we can do when we get together, boys. No offense to the nice masculines.